On a humid Monday night in the summer of 1965, after finding an $8 hotel room in the then economically friendly city of San Francisco, I lugged my banjo and black hard-shell prop case 10 sweaty blocks uphill to the Coffee and Confusion, where I had signed up to play for free.
It'd be a hard thing to explain to someone as a life choice, that you were going to go all over the place and say different things and try to cheer people up.
I love stand-up, but people all the time are like, how do you do what you do? And it's like, you guys are the ones taking a fucking risk. You spent like years finding friends, partners, people you could tolerate. And then you were just like, now that we've found each other, should we just go to a fucking basement and see what mentally unwell people they wheel out to talk to us for 2 hours?
Maybe I'm making it sound more glamorous and noble than I want it to.
It's nice to be here, sort of. And why are you're showing me your ripped off fingernail? Okay, that's just, it's bloody. I just want you to know it is bloody.
At this point, my act was a catch-all. It was strictly Monday night quality, the night when, traditionally, anyone could get up to perform.
I think you get a sense of power from it. I think it's your one chance to feel like you're a group of hot girls at a bar, right? Because you just sit there, you kind of all band together and you sit there, and up come different people, usually men, often nervous, mostly ugly, and you just sit back.
Go on. Say your best thing. We'll decide if you keep talking.
Mental health issues, you guys are like, it's obvious, we've been listening, and
These rooms and spaces where you have kind of complete freedom and complete chaos are sort of important, even though they seem like the least important thing of all time.
You're not going to be that offended. We'll see. We'll see.
I feel like years from now, you will be everywhere in your lives and you will just go, yeah, what the fuck was that? Like, I don't know either.
A revolution.
I don't know who I am anymore.
What the fuck is this?
So this is a kind of love letter to all the roughness of like the going in blindly, surrendering to whatever's going on, and the characters that exist in that world. Sort of the opposite of a special, right? Where you're wearing new trainers and everyone knows how to act. So it's a collection of like anti-specials, unspecials. Yeah, it's a collection of unspecials. That's what it is.
I wanted to be there again, just as things were, indulging in high spirits and hijinks before I turned professional, before comedy became serious.
You've come to free comedy? Oh, you're going to pay. Like, I'm testing your material. Like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to say some shit I've never said out loud before and just like see what happens. And you guys were like, we think that's a good deal for us. So I said shit. And I wasn't yet as good at comedy as I am now. Don't you dare laugh at that or anything. I'm in control. I asked him not to laugh. Now every time he doesn't, it's my power.
Get on board, people. I only do pigeon material.
You said it was free. I was free with the ticket. Okay. Well, in some ways, it's, you know, you'll see when you're older, it wasn't free. I'll, you know, it's like, it cost you something. And also, it's crazy that we asked another guy in finance for, like, to give you advice. Like, no one in finance that bought tickets to this show is doing that well. Like, I'm doing well. I'm just saying you're not doing better, you know?
I'm a man. What have I done with my life?
But what I do miss is that when I came on the alternative comedy circuit, as it was then called, in the 80s, a lot of the people, it's difficult to imagine what else they could have done. You know, there were people that were just nuts in a brilliant way.
Yeah, there's probably not any weird ones left. Apart from, have you heard about the cheese guy?
He eats cheese, and it's
Right. first hour of the show, you will not be eating cheese. Yeah, the show is 2 hours long.
Like the Iceman, whose act was that he melted ice. Steve Murray, who died recently, whose act was that he would just tear teddy bears to pieces, called himself the teddy bear torturer.
The man folds a bed sheet show. The guy folded a fitted bed sheet, and like 2,000 people came to see him do it on a hill. And it just makes me, why am I putting all this effort in? Anyway, it's great to be here, away from the stressful day job.
Well, there were people like Sadovitz who seemed to be able to be in that state, who were really furious to the point where in a different society they might have been locked up. So it seemed to be this space where a lot of quite problematic people were able to rub along and monetize their madness, whereas now it's the opportunities that comedy presents has necessarily meant that ambitious professional people tend to go into it, whereas before it seemed like a retreat from the world into a hermetically sealed environment.
The review I had for this summer was mentally unwell. I didn't read the rest of the review because it was behind a paywall, which is not useful for me.
I've got one fan, but he's now moved to South America. So,
the desperate comedian needs the love of strangers because his dad didn't show him enough attention as a child show. It's not that show. Turns out he's just a quiet guy. Okay, so this whole endeavour is pointless. Pointless.
odd characters in stand-up. My favourite one, gig I saw when I was starting out, a long time ago now. This guy got up there and he just didn't say anything. And everyone's like, what are you doing? The guy running the show is like, what are you doing? He's like, this is my time. I'm here. I'm allowed to do 5 minutes and whatever I want. And he didn't say anything. And that was one of my favourite things. I still remember that. You know, and then you think about all these people who tell jokes around.
I mean, there is something about like the sort of dingy open mic that has certain allure, and then you see like a basement that's just all brick, and you feel like there's going to be a seance in the middle of it at some point. And then you just get a top comedian dropping in, just being like, I miss this. You'll talk to him in the dressing room and be like, I miss this sort of. You can say whatever, you can do whatever, and there's no stakes, there's no one filming, there's no, oh my God, I have to get this right, there's no one bought tickets to my show.
So when you first start up doing stand-up, you think you're really funny, but you don't know that you're not? You think it's going to go your way because that's how you come out with it?
You'd have those nights where you just have a terrible experience to really keep you balanced, I think. It's the way.
You want to hear about the worst gig I ever did? Yes! Okay, it's this minute. It
was my first year out of school, and my girlfriend at the time and my mum had organised a surprise birthday party at a Thai restaurant around the corner from our house, which was having a stand-up night. And they had a big, like, internationally known headliner.
They have all these comedy competitions for, like, new beginners. And the comedy competitions, they're not that much of a reflection of how good you are and, like, how far you go, is what, like, the men that don't go through them say about them. And,
And I didn't know, obviously, birthday party, surprise, come in, and then a few mates kept coming from the back curtain.
Throwing out my mom when I got through the semi-finals because I wanted it to be like a real career. And I was like, Mom, it's official, I'm funny. And she was like, well, semi-funny.
Anyway, the mum leans over and goes, there's stand-up later on tonight. And I was thinking, maybe you could give it a try.
Like, who's not friends with their mum? Yeah, exactly. No. I don't get it. I feel like if you're best friends with your mum, it just means like you and your mum both suck. Like it doesn't make sense. You know, like I like Sue McMahon, but she's got a lot of shit going on. You know, it's like...
I'd never done stand-up before, but I'd seen a lot of it on TV, so I thought, yeah, I can do that. I'm 19. I've got world experience. I'm a worldly guy. I can riff against professional comedians who are coming on before me. So they get up, and then the host gets up first, and he is probably like the Australian version of like Joe Rogan, but like just swearing so much. And he just gets up and then starts doing this crowd work. And then me and my mates and my girlfriend at the time, he just looks down at her, and she's like 18, barely 18, and then just goes, oh, I'd like to have a go on you. Like this really, really hectic stuff.
So we get to the final of this competition, and we get there, and it's the biggest room I've ever seen. All the comics actually know each other because they're all professionals, so they're all seeing each other all the time. And
then They go, all right, do you want to jump up now? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I get up with no material, no experience, and I'm fuming.
And I get up on stage and like, I don't know if you've ever ruined like 300 people's night in like one split second. I bet you have. And I don't know why.
So I get up and do this whole like, oh yeah, big man, the host is big. Yeah, awesome. Sounds like I'm just gonna hit on young women, make it gross. That's no, all right, whatever. Gets donuts.
It's like it was colossally bad. And afterwards I was like, okay, but you need to, like, for the good of humanity, not do stand-up anymore.
And you can tell in the audience as well, for context, everyone's looking at me with a face of like, I want this to go well.
And then a couple of years later, I was just like going about my business, and one of my friends rang me up out of the blue, and she was like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine, why, what's up? And she's like, I had a dream last night, because I was back at that gig you did. But this time all the doors were locked and I couldn't get out. And I was like, no way did I give someone PTSD from this gig.
I segue into material about how it's crazy when you go to these like toilets, and at university I've got the sign that says sit on it this way, tick, sit on it this way, cross. How crazy is that? Who's doing that? And then my friend in the front row leans over and goes, that's because they want to make sure the international students know when they first come over here. I was like, what? And he's just like explains to me about Western toilets and Eastern toilets. But none of the crowd can hear this, so all they hear is me going, what's the deal with that? And then leaning over and just listening to a friend and going, oh, well, that makes sense. Oh, okay, well, I didn't know that. There you go.
And so then I was like, I'm just going to talk to other comics about it, because everyone will have bad stories and everyone will bond over them. And I said it in a green room, and lots of the comics were like, yeah, I had a bad gig. And I was like, why don't you hug? You're not the person I wanted to, bond over. And so... But then my friend Rich, who's really good, I saw his like kind of like stiffed up and his eyes glazed over, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. And I was like, hey, like, what happened? And he just went, that was it, that night too. It was so bad.
And you just look into people's eyes and see, oh fuck, they're not really loving this. You can see that.
We've all had that show, right? And then you just like ignore that and keep going. That's so ghosty.
But it was great, like the camaraderie that you had with the other comics that you started out with doing those fucking hell rooms.
That required emotional intelligence.
Oh God, all I had was emotional intelligence, and I assumed the start of the sentence was, guess what I don't have. And is like things start to get really weird, and then you just have to ask yourself, like, am I dreaming? And like, I'm kind of hoping I am, because I think it's why they use the expression dead silence, because there was a moment where I was like, am I dead? And I would have been relieved, or is everyone else dead and I can start a new life?
Maybe that's the power of being so deeply humiliated so early on, is you kind of have to get practiced at that thing of being like, is this thing that I think crazy, or am I tapping into something that everyone feels?
Crazy. We are going to stop calling women crazy. And then I found my diary from my 20s, and I was like, there's only one word for what this is.
And the only way I'm going to know it is to say it out loud.
That was a joke. I'm only doing jokes. The comedy, it's like, I don't know why.
And if you want somewhere to experiment, in Scotland, every year is the Edinburgh Festival, which is divided into paid venues and the free fringe. And the paid fringe is seen as more prestigious. And I guess it is, but part of that prestige is to do a paid venue, you have to invest a crazy amount of money before you even step on stage.
Whoever wrote that, they should have their headshot.
2 dark? It's 4 p.m, come on.
So the free fringe, which is what we're gonna wade through, is by choice a lot more makeshift. And that gives it the reputation of being a bit more of a gamble.
I love what they've done here with this in the middle of the stage. You wouldn't get that at the paid fringe, would you? No, that's it.
But who doesn't love to gamble?
I'll get you with one of these, don't you worry about it.
It was another guy was on stage, and this woman shouted out. He said something sexist because that's like, I guess, the job. And then she was like, "You're sexist," and then he was like, and so they started this back and forth, right? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He had to win because he had to win the room, but she was sort of right, and she was also like quite drunk, so she wasn't giving it up. You know, it was like tennis, back and forth, back and forth. No one was saying anything smart, but everyone was invested. Anyway, midway through the argument, I guess she was so drunk that her entire memory reset. So then he said something, and there was just the longest silence until she just goes, "Is he talking to me?"
The space to experiment that is economically accessible is what stops art from becoming elitist.
Maybe, would you like me to do an interpretive dance?
But I think I learned there isn't another space that allows you to do it in that way.
Get with the rats now, honestly.
You know, all the social media accounts, it's not doing it the same way. And you aren't saying it. You're having to like post it and type it, and then it becomes a conversation.
Shut the fuck up! They're screaming at you. And you just be sitting there hanging your head going, all right, here we go. Gotta take my lumps. It was funny. It was how you went up and you learned how to keep your composure.
I don't film these ever, so you must be pretty special to me, Laura McMahon. Christ almighty. Oh, right. That's not bad, actually. All right, so I'm hiding in a bathroom. I'm about to do a set at a show. There's too many people in the room. By that I mean it is a fire hazard, which I'm fine. That's fine. You know what I mean? There's been worse in my body. But the fringe, the free fringe. I like the free fringe because I feel like, I don't know, there's a lot of art going on at the Free Festival that you're not going to see anywhere else.
Like, I haven't had to do those, fortunately, for a while, and I can guarantee you that if you put me up in one and nobody knew who I was, I would fucking eat my dick. Because they wouldn't give a fuck, and my skills to get them to give a fuck would not be sharp like they need to be. So, you know, these fucking theater gigs, they're layups.
You know, I do work with these women typically, so I have an idea of what's gone on in here. It's been probably dark and weird, and vaginas have been mentioned?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what one is, young man? Fair enough. Very good. Good. Well, fine. I'm going to keep with the theme. I feel like they're more concerned for you than your dad is right now. Your dad's like, hey, is this what you do instead of school? You're like, we're gonna go to a couple comedy shows. We're gonna just speed our way through life lessons. It's okay. I'm just gonna do what I normally do, and I'm getting consent from you. And the kid. Oh, and your mom? Yeah. Oh shit! I like that we're just addressing him. No, so I should be addressing. Excuse me. I like that you're like, let me get a good. Huh? Consent. Perfect. Great. This kid is going to need more therapy than me, I think. It's a nice way to start. No, you know, it's just like life's interesting. Like you're 13. Man, things are gonna change a lot. Like, yeah, you don't even realize. Like, I thought I was like fully cooked at a certain point. I'm 35 now. I'm like at 30. I was like, no, I'm done. You know. But now I'm kind of having like a personal renaissance a little bit. Like things are changing again. The biggest thing that's happening to me, and I'm still kind of getting used to saying this out loud. I'm thinking about quitting my full-time job. So, yeah, thanks. Yeah, this is my full-time job. So. I'll finish this one, but maybe I'll do it after. I don't know. I'll just quit after. You know, it was. I was thinking about it, and it's definitely lockdown. Lockdown kind of fucked me up. You know, there was too much time to think about stuff. I think we can all relate to that. Like Tiger King was one good season. Then people started baking bread. I once had a yeast infection, did that in my pussy. So. Fish is not a good flavor for bread. Your mom shook her head no. Just for the record, just keeping tabs on her the whole time. Yeah, there was just too much time to think. You guys, like, that's what happened to me. I started having thoughts. You guys know about thoughts? Not like everyday thoughts. We all have those thoughts. You know, like, what am I gonna wear to brunch? Like, that's a thought. I feel I'm looking at you too. We have that thought. I don't want to go to work on Monday. You know, like, I want to party forever. I don't know what kind of. You're having thoughts, right? You're like, I don't want to be here right now. This is really uncomfortable. I've got too much attention. Yeah, I see you. That's a thought. But I'm talking about like thoughts, like pretty crazy thoughts, like the ones that turn to feelings. You know what I'm talking about? I know I'm in Scotland. It's not a feelings-based culture, but you know the concept. You dabbled. Yeah, I started having thoughts. In lockdown, they became feelings, and then this other thing started happening to me. I don't know, maybe it's happened to some people in the room before. I started to feel, then I started to heal, like as a person. You're the only person to acknowledge what I said. Oh, you're just sort of acknowledging. I've seen a lot of pre-healing in the rest of the room. Like, these ladies are going to the grave with what happened to them. They're like, we're good, actually. Thank you, don't address it. But, well, okay, fine. When I was in lockdown for 13 months straight. Okay, I was in Australia for 6 months, 7 months in England. That's how you change, fundamentally, as a person. I thought during lockdown all I wanted to do was be back out here doing stand-up comedy. I was so blended with what this was to me. I was like, this is who I am. That when I couldn't do it, I didn't know who I was anymore. And I got back out here and I started performing again, and I realized that I've spent most of my life in some version of a performance, like looking for love and approval from external sources. And that doing this is just an extension of that. Like, this is quite literally a performance. I'm performing in front of you right now, if you didn't know. And now that I'm feeling better in my actual life, I don't know why I do this anymore. Because I don't know what this looks like to you as an audience. It's been so long since I've been in an audience. Like, because I can tell you that we don't get up here to bring joy to strangers. That would be a noble thing. We get up here because of the way you make us feel when we make you laugh. It's the human centipede of performance art. And to do this as a job, it's not even about making this room of people laugh. It's about getting the right people to laugh and getting the right people to notice you, because then and only then are you deserving of that love and approval that we're up here looking for. And if you can't do that, it reinforces the idea that most of us got into a business like this in the first place, and we never deserved any of that. So, nothing fucking funny about that, you know? So you might think, well, if you're doing this as a job, you do it for money. Also, no, okay? No, wrong. Because I was at the job center recently. Everybody knows what that is? Job center? Yeah, I was explaining to my caseworker, Pat, how doing this as a job works. That's what we do there. And she was looking at my bank account, and she was like, okay, let me get this straight. You spend 75 pounds to take a train from London to Liverpool to do a gig where you make 100 pounds for a net profit of 25 pounds? And I was like, no, then I need to get a bus and have a snack. So I'm actually 5 pounds in jet. And she was like, oh, this isn't what I thought this was. I mean, you've been doing this a while. Like, I Googled you. I know you do this. So when do you graduate to the next level? And I was like, look, Pat, this isn't a merit-based system. It's not about being professional or funny. It's about how many followers I have on Instagram and OnlyFans. So, if you and everybody at the job center can like my feet pics, I could have a career at stand-up comedy. And she was like, wow, this is crazy. I mean, when I turn on the TV and see the Apollo, I imagine something else. Like, you guys are having fun and everybody's successful and happy. You've at least made some friends, right? And I was like, I'm sorry, friends? In the entertainment industry? No. People who work in entertainment are either like me, a people pleaser who wants love, or a narcissistic megalomaniac, fame-hungry psychopath who also wants love. It's just too much mental illness for actual friendship. I'm thinking about doing something else with my life. And she looked at me and she said, no, you listen to me, Miss Henson, okay? What you do is a service, all right? Because when life gets you down, all you gotta do is laugh, right? I spilled coffee on my work computer last week. I almost got fired. You know what I did? I laughed it off. When my family found out my sister had cancer, that was a really scary time for us. And she's okay now. But you know what we did as a family? We laughed that off. Ha ha ha. And there was a time when things were really tough for me, and I was on this earth, and I just felt like I didn't want to be here anymore. But you know what I did? When I'm sitting in front of you today, I laughed it off as well. Ha, ha, ha. I was like, you know what, Pat? Sounds like you're a stand-up comedian to me. So want to trade jobs? And she grabbed my hand, and she said, no, you listen to me. I want you to know. I want you to know I wish you nothing but the best with your stand-up comedy career. And I know one day when I see you on TV, I'm gonna have the pleasure of saying I know you. Good luck with everything. I was just like, fuck, now I gotta keep doing it for Pat. So, that's why I'm at this Fringe. I gotta get my universal credit payments. Did you learn anything today? No, not one thing. You didn't learn don't become a stand-up comedian, because that's the only message I wanted you to take from this. You guys can talk about that in your next family therapy session. Thanks for supporting live comedy.
Pulled up on 6th Street. It was my birthday. I was riding with the guy. He said, what do you want to do for your birthday? I said, I want to do stand-up. And I found a bar. It was right around closing. And I saw the DJ packing up, and I said, can I use your microphone? And he recognized me, so he said, oh, yeah. And I went up there and I just started talking shit. But it was just like, teasing the bar staff as they're cleaning up, talking to patrons, and, get it home fast, buddy, and all that shit.
Right.
And people laugh, and it was like I used to do street comedy in New York. It kind of reminded me of that, like building a crowd. Must have stayed on stage 3 or 4 hours.
Wow.
And they closed the door, they locked the door because it was after hours. And I was in there killing it. One of the best birthdays I've ever had. Sometime around when I turned 40, I just decided that I'm gonna have fun.
I love that stand-up needs a mic.
Yeah.
Not even always. I love that it needs a stool. Fine, you don't have one. But it just needs whatever you thought of that's either in your back pocket or it's already up here, and it's just you talking, and that the full product doesn't really require a sound check. It doesn't require, I love that it's bare bones, travel around, get on a stage, or not, if there isn't even one, and give the product that is you to people. I love it. And I was always like, oh, that's what really, there's something I always was attracted to about that, and it's what makes me love the road, and it makes me love this job. The goal being, how do we make everyone feel like they are right here, right now? And it's not like, hey, come to sit here and get like lost in this. It's like, get here and just remember you're in here.
Yes.
You're not out there. And I think that's what...
Talk about a premise that wouldn't work. It's so weird that I'm a corpse, like I'm a dead person, dead man walking.
Yeah.
I'm not long for this. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And I perform for other corpses, and if they hate me, I'm like, God, those corpses hated me. Does that make? See, yes. I can't even really make it hilarious. These impermanent things are feeling feelings as if what's happening is gonna last forever.
Right.
When it doesn't.
Right, the meaninglessness of it.
And the freedom of the meaningless, not the dread of the meaninglessness.
Yeah.
And that is it's absurdity that helps me go like, that makes as much sense as so much shit that we're acting like makes sense. And that's weird, and now I can laugh.
Someone shows you what they're doing, and then you get to go, oh my God, that's that. I should start going down that road and see where I am. Finding material and then go, oh, the thing that my brain keeps pulling me
That's
to.
What it is. When you don't have a map and you don't have the pre-thought out anything, you're sort of faced with a vulnerable honesty.
My goal is to get to that hyper-relaxed place of all those options do appear like the Matrix.
Yeah.
In real time.
Yeah.
Because you're not desperately hoping this moment is working, and you're not desperately hoping you find the next moment. Instead, you're just letting it be exactly as it is. And so your brain floods with ideas. For the most part, when it's good, I am more exploratory. I'll take turns I would have never taken that sometimes are good for right then and only right then.
Yeah.
Sometimes the perfect sentence comes together where I go, that is now in the act forever. That is great. And then sometimes it goes nowhere and you tank a little bit.
But it did make me go down that road as far as I could go. It really requires conquering fear that this won't be good. And it really requires getting to a space where you say, I don't fucking care if this is good or bad. I'm going to press the gas, because you no longer have a script. And also because you no longer have doubt or fear, that suddenly all these things are just present and you just know what to do with them. I mean, when you can get into that flow, and now here are all the directions I can go because I'm not hiding from it. And how do you create that confidence when you have nothing to fall back on? And what could that be like?
So you're probably thinking, how did we get here? There is Jupiter.
Let's go. Keep it. Oh, Jesus.
We're up there. The Edinburgh Fringe is the biggest arts festival in the world.
My name is Raoul. I am a Geordie Indian man.
What's happening, everybody? Carl Legacy here. All for tax reasons. Various names depending on the country. The best person at the Edinburgh Fringe 2025. The co-host of the Last Night Rave. But mainly I'm the riff king. That's what my career is. I'm here for riffs. Why don't you do material? Because jokes are for cruise ships and pussies. How do I know DJ Daddy Caramel? I think we met the first time, introduced at Edinburgh Fringe. The exact same sense of humour, pretty much. Do whatever I can for him and he do whatever he can for me, so that's good.
You just got like a bunch of lunatics who decided a career in the arts is something to pursue. So you got comics, you got actors, you got directors, you got very famous people, you got honest just crackheads, like people you'll never ever see again.
Some people have comedy shows where they make people laugh.
That's where you'll find weirdos, ravers, that's where you'll find clowns. And they all gather in the city of Edinburgh for the month of August and turn the whole city into a festival. Yeah, since the Fringe has started, it's been a tradition that once the final VIP bar closes at 5 a.m, they all climb up off the seat to watch the sunrise. And I thought what was amazing, but I thought there should be something up here. There should be a party up here when people get here. There should be something for the performers to see. But me and 10 other lunatics decided we need to do a rave.
What were the initial thoughts when Raoul told you he was running a mountain rave? I said, you ain't gonna pull it off. You're not gonna pull it off.
Like, I'm sure a lot of people thought I was a madman. And I suppose I am a madman. Anyway, I said, we're gonna go up the top of the mountain, we're gonna hold a big rave there. All the clowns and the performers come down at 5 a.m, they're not gonna know it's gonna be there. It's gonna be just this crazy crossing of all these journeys, and I can't wait.
He's not gonna do this. And my second reaction was like, am I gonna have to carry a fucking generator or something like that?
It's gonna be pretty chaotic, but if you say it's gonna work, we'll believe in you.
If someone bets me to do something, I'll just do it straight away.
On my one day off a week, I'm going to my friend's house to learn to DJ because I want to do a set of this mountain rave.
Well, I woke up on Richard Sheehy's couch 3 hours ago, so it's going well.
We've got a guy called Graham in the group who said he'd do drone footage. And this guy was the most insane man I've ever met. He was in the group, and then at like 9 p.m, he was like, I'm at the bottom of the hill. Like we said, we're meeting at 1 a.m. But I didn't bring him to be a normal person.
There's no bad ideas at this point. We are late for fucking everything. Like,
I'm getting a lot of dropouts, a lot of fallen soldiers. People are like, wait, it's 5 a.m? How the hell are we going to stay up at 5 a.m? Are you sure people come at 5 a.m? And I'm like, we'll go up at 1 a.m. to set up. We have to be there, like, going at 5 a.m. So when they come up, wear what they see.
So fucking cool. Not cool is the wrong word. It's like, it's interesting, isn't it?
It's a real bad time to be you right now, and it's...
When I'm on my way to assembly, we get a call. It's like, bro, they sound like they're at war. It's Borough, it's Patter, and then Borough's like, we need more men, people are dropping out, we need everything, we need vapes, we need cigarettes, we need water, we need toilet rolls, someone shit themselves. Like, we need more men, what have you done? And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm scrambling.
Shit, I can't believe you put us through this. We've got people dropping out.
To be honest, I'm not a big rave guy, but yeah, that was the craziest.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Take the cross off, you're doing too much.
So I think I know where to go from here.
Yeah, so that's, yeah.
Firstly, I don't exactly know what the legality of it is anyway.
What the fuck?
Anyway, then I got another 5 good men from the pear tree. So I got some guy from San Fran who's just a jack man who liked to lift heavy things. He was like, I want to lift heavy things up a mountain. I'd conquer the mountain, let's see.
How far into the trip was he like, where are you going?
Placed 24 litres of water behind this thing so that everyone would have water to take up and everyone would be in good nick and nobody too dehydrated. Handed the waters out, left vapes on top of the speakers so that people could just take them at will, gave the cigarettes to the few people who smoked who would run the rave. But from that moment, the rave was on, and at that moment, I just knew we'd nailed it. I didn't think it was going to be like as beautiful as it continued to go.
That was sick. He actually pulled it off.
Like, me and him start the riff and rave. It's just like one of these moments, isn't there, where like the hairs stand up on your arm, like you feel those goosebumps. It just feels like tomorrow won't come. Yesterday and all the trauma that came with it never happened. It's like just this moment. You just feel like you and the universe and every other matter and particle are the same. I can't quite describe it.
Got you, Wally. He's got you fucking sorted. He's Indian, he knows what he's doing with all this electronics. If you're thinking about taking requests, don't fucking do it.
So why did I do it? But it was in the back of that green room where I first heard the name Big Gary Little. I never told him I considered him an inspiration, but I really did.
No, absolute legend of the game. He'll be missed. There's so many other comedians I wish died before him. I'll tell you that for free.
60 years old and he was still climbing these mountains, still going to far-flung places to do gigs.
Drinking and all that sort of stuff. He's sober, he's giving me like you on a ride home and all that sort of stuff, going out his way and all that.
When I was in that green room and the MC, I just remember him saying, oh, that guy would be so much bigger if it wasn't for the fact he went to prison. I didn't think that was a career switch he could make. Just as I got to know him and work with him, my friend went to jail, converted to Islam. It wasn't a particularly mad, funny story. But Gary told me that he actually converted to Islam. He's like tall, Scottish, 60-year-old man. And I was like, why did you convert to Islam, Gary? And he was like, well, basically, the prison food was dog shit. But if you had a halal diet, the only place that did halal food in the vicinity was like the nice Indian restaurant down the road. So like me and a few of the other prisoners kind of figured it out and converted to Islam so we could get halal food, so we could get the nice food from the curry house down the road. And I was literally telling somebody that just a couple of days before I received the news. Gary Little died on a mountain during the 2025 Edinburgh Fringe. But for every year previous, Gary Little lived on a mountain with a dog by his side, Scottish comedy clubs up and down the country, and at the Edinburgh Fringe.
To end it with a sad note here, but you gotta go show respect regardless.
Stood in between Jupiter and Venus perfectly. And then as like word's starting to get round, I'm like sending the feelers out.
Where are all the women? That was my main thought or whatever.
And then there's this beautiful moment where I didn't think he was gonna come. I was getting messages off him being like, my social battery's drained, nobody really knows me here, I can't really get anyone's attention, everyone's going in separate ways and doing separate things. And then he came, like while I'm DJing, you just hear oops upside your head, said oops upside your head. And then you just hear someone like the Allen chants at festivals, you just go, Jesus. And then everyone starts to turn, particularly like, Jesus. Jesus! And down the hill just starts, with the flanked by the managers of Petrie, Jesus starts running down the hill and he's like this, and Jesus just comes in the rave and stands by my side. You can write that, and you can plan that, because it's exactly what I did. I've known Jesus for a year, we're very good friends, but everyone else is just like, oh, wait. So we had three gods. We had the Egyptian god, the sun, we had the Roman god, Jupiter, and we had Jesus literally turn up. We did the riff and rave, everyone was just laughing, because I just was there, sunrise behind me. There's one little moment where I was with my best friends DJing, doing comedy on a mountain, sunrise behind me. You can't write the sky.
Is anyone driving to Glasgow after this? I'm asking for a friend.
Like, art is just a way of comprehending the universe. It's a way of like conveying a moment, conveying a feeling from one human being to another, whereby both of us feel less alone in this giant cosmic void.
I think he's getting worse at comedy. He's getting better at planning raves. He's getting worse at comedy, I reckon.
The madman pulled his ideas off.
I still can't believe that.
But a performance could be anything. I was reminded that the day after the Fringe, when I was walking to Pepe's to meet Jesus for some food, the Last Supper per se. So as I was heading up, there's just one guy playing a guitar, well, I may add, And I felt what was beautiful about seeing that was like I'd seen all these people so desperate, so painstakingly worried about getting people in to see their art. In the infiniteness of the universe. It's not going to remember Taylor Swift, never mind I broke asses and I broke problems, you know what I mean?
I mean, you've said a lot.
Yeah. How long did that speak for?
You don't want to know.
My favorite comedians are like musicians, and the audience is their instrument.
People were being mean to you because you were mean before, but...
My penis fell out and a woman heckled me. Haha, I just saw half your dick. I was like, haha, joke's on you. That was the full dick. So,
I love that that's why you laughed. She was like, for me, people are getting hurt and I'm done. Like that's, I mean, you know, when I get on stage, I'm gonna miss you. Like that's,
The entire exercise is, can you get out of the way?
Yeah.
Do you know how to step aside and stop thinking about, is that right?
So my friend said this thing about musicians and how the ones he was most jealous of was the ones that were like in pub cover bands or were busking, because it was just kind of like pure love of music and wanting to share it, and the setting didn't matter. Just the freedom of the busker, kind of getting out there and playing for sort of everyone and sort of no one. You could just see the sun comes out and go and riff on a street corner kind of thing. Made me want to learn guitar.
I wasn't a musician, I wasn't in a band, I can't sing, all that stuff. But the idea of like the 60s, beatnik culture, Bob Dylan, Greenwich Village, the traveling singer-songwriter, the Jack Kerouac poet, novelist, like I love the artsy idea of this traveling artist who has their thoughts.
I like this room as well. This is kind of, because I feel like comedians are like musicians, but like without the talent. And so it's like all of these things are kind of mocking me.
And then at some point you hit a moment where you go, all of these are steering towards this one kind of focus. And not even, you're not even trying to make it.
I wanted to learn the guitar, so I was taking a guitar with me and I'd find somewhere to play it as the sun rose, but it was so embarrassing because I only knew 2 chords and I would be trying to play them. But then like joggers would come over and like take out their headphones to listen, and I would be like, no, I don't know how to play. And they would just be like, oh, sure you do. And I would have to play badly for them and they would have to watch it.
I don't know if it's been my time, but it sure felt like it. No, it hasn't. You have been lovely.
Like I want to like be fully leaning into the wind, you know what I mean? Like kind of like those 2 forces are gonna hit, and then what breaks off of them is sort of like the beauty of imperfection. Yeah. Like, and I think about like ballet or something, like if a dancer leaps, right? They're leaping with like all of their force as if they could fly straight to the moon, right? But gravity is what makes it that like arc. And then so we perceive the beauty of like the arc of the ballerina's leap, but it's 2 sort of opposing forces meeting, gravity and all these things, and those will be there, but to me they're sort of like most beautiful when they're the result of trying to surpass them.
I liked that I had no time to make myself right or make myself the hero. I could only talk honestly. If I talk about me, I'm not really talking about me. I'm really talking about the majority of the audience that definitely relates, because we all have so much more in common than we think on the surface. And we can just sit in here and laugh together, and you just want to point it out to people like, doesn't this feel good? Yeah. Doesn't it feel good to get along with people more than it does to argue or fight?
I had this Uber driver when I was carrying the guitar around, and he saw the case and was like, do you play? And at this point I was sick of not being good at it and people being nice to me anyway. So I said, no, I'm just carrying it around like an idiot and can't really play. Do you play? And he was like, I know enough to know how to have fun. And I kind of just thought, yes, that is how I want to feel about everything moving forward. And now we're going to go back to the Edinburgh Fringe for the final time this evening. So here's a set where I showed up to the gig thinking it was a stand-up set, and right before I got on stage, I got told it was actually comedians doing poetry. And I did not have any poetry on me or any time to think. So this is what I went with.
It's really nice to be here. What a lovely gig. You've gone, and I love you as a crowd because you've gone comedians. Shall I see them do comedy? Nah. Amazing as a risk. You're kind of like the highest risk audience of all time. Okay, so we've got it. This is quite intimidating for me as a gig. I think I'm joking, I've got. A lot of the time when you're doing stand-up, you're performing to like young, drunk, 20-year-olds. And I have to be honest, they're easy to fool. You know, they don't know a lot of shit about life. And so I'm gonna tell you a brief story. But I already fear that because you're older than me, you know when someone's saying something and you're like, I know how that ends, you know, so we'll see. But it's gonna be about the theme of poetry. So I started doing comedy a really long time ago, and I was young and I loved it, and I loved being out, and I loved telling stories, and I loved being in pubs, and it was just like a great time. And I was doing it for a while, and then I met up with this friend from my hometown. We went traveling around, and it became apparent that like in the time that we'd been apart, she'd kind of grown up a lot, and if I'm honest, I found that kind of boring. But I didn't want to, when you've got two, are you two friends? And you've been friends a long time? That's great. That's crazy, because female friendships, they can go one. Is there one of you that's like a bit of a wild card and one that's like... Because I feel like there's two types. I feel like there's, if you said no too quickly, it's you. I feel like there's two types, you know, we used to drink it together, that's what you do when you're young, and I feel like there's two types of drunk girls, and one is the kind which is more like her, who's like, you know what? Put your phone away, drink some water, you're better than this, get in the kebab, you know, get in a taxi, here's a kebab, don't call anyone, off you go. And then there's the other kind, which is like where I come in, which is the one that's a bit more like, or we could get like 6 more shots, we could just like casually steal a Prius, we could shave one of your eyebrows, we could just like FaceTime your dad, I don't know. But as you get older, it becomes more and more problematic. So we're on this trip and we're traveling around America. We've got 1 day left, and it's become apparent that it's gonna be the end of our friendship at the end of that day. And I don't want that, so I want to prove to her that I'm not the problem. But spoilers, I don't yet know that I'm the problem. And so we got 1 day left, and she's like, hey, we should go to the San Diego Zoo. And that would be lovely. And I was like, we should, that would be lovely. Or we could just catch a bus out to Tijuana. We could just get like a little day drunk, and we could just like see what happens. And I could tell she doesn't want to do that with me, but I don't care. So we're on the bus, and I can tell she's kind of nervous, and the bus driver tries to reassure her, and he's like, you know, a lot of people don't like Mexico because of the 6,000 murders a year thing, but I feel like the news is really one-sided, and you know, they never really asked the criminal what their side of the story was. I could feel everything just tighten in her muscles on the bus. So we get off the bus and we decide to find like a local bar, because you know when you're a tourist, you want to find the local places and ruin them. So we find this bar, and it's completely empty because it's 11 a.m. and it's just us, and it's these 2 local girls. It looks kind of shady on another day, but it's like, you know, it's empty and we want to like experience the culture. So we start drinking beers, and I don't know if you know this about Tijuana, but every time you order a beer, it comes with a free shot of tequila. So we're like a bunch of beers in, and we're bonded with these local girls, and we've been buying them drinks to, you know, befriend them. And we're 4 girls, and we're a little bit drunk, so there's only like one logical next step: karaoke. But we got a bit of a problem. We don't speak any Spanish, and they don't speak any English, so we got to find a middle ground, which is Shakira. And we are having fun, because that's what I know how to have. And then out of nowhere, the military police burst in the door with a bunch of machine guns, shouting at us in Spanish. They're like freaking out. They say, put your passports on the table. Eventually, the bartender stops laughing long enough to translate for us. And he's like, they're saying to you, it's illegal to do sex work here. And I was like, you wear a skirt one time, men. So I was like, tell them we're not sex workers. And he's like, I know you're not. They are. And so now I'm buying these ladies drinks and making them dance while I sing for hours. And crucially, Shakira is still playing at this point. And all I can really think to myself is like, you know, they never really asked the criminal for their side of the story. And I want to say after that was like a wake-up call, but it wasn't. I loved that story. I loved telling it. I loved getting attention for it. And then years later, you know, when you get older, suddenly the things that were super funny become like hugely problematic. And so I decided to stop drinking. I don't know if you've ever had this happen, but I think the line between comedy and sadness is like super thin. And once I stopped drinking, I suddenly just wasn't as funny anymore. Everything just felt sad for a long period of time. And so I became like, I couldn't do stand-up anymore, but I was like, just like firing out all of these poems, you know, like just sad poems. And then it was like my flat looked like, you know, at the end of detective films where there's just paper everywhere? It was like that, but with all of my fucking feelings. Eventually one of my friends who was a musician came around and he was like, what the fuck is this? And I was like, well, I've been writing all of these poems. And he's like, well, we could turn these into songs. And I was like, oh my God, we could. And he's like a proper musician. So he's like, I'll help you. So he turned them into songs. And then, you know, he has a studio and had worked with bigger people, so he was like, you could come around and record the songs. And I was like, oh my God, this is absolutely perfect. And so we went along and we recorded all of the songs. And actually, when I was sad, I remembered I once went on a date with this guy, and he was the only guy to have ever been cured of Crohn's disease. And the way that he said he did it was he was playing the drums, and he said he couldn't focus on pain at the same time so he could focus on playing the drums. And at first he did it lying down when he was like 16, and eventually he was sitting up, and now he could do drums like 20 minutes every day to make sure the Crohn's never comes back, which is maybe insane, but he's the only person who's ever cured it, right? So I was like, oh my God, this poetry has saved me. I'm meant to be a singer, that's what it's gonna be. Obviously it never worked out with me and him, and not just because he opened the date with talking about shitting in a bag, but I remembered that, and I was like, oh my God, music must have healing powers. So I got really into the like music thing, and I was like, doesn't matter that I'm not funny anymore. And my friend was like, we can record in my studio. We turned it in. I went down for the day, and I was like singing, and I could hear the music, and I couldn't hear myself, and it was just like a beautiful healing thing. And I was like, oh my God, poetry has healed me. Unless you're paying attention, you're like, you were the problem at the start, so whatever. Send the tracks back to me, and I have a listen, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but I don't know how to sing. I'd never sung before, so it'd be a miracle if these songs sounded good. And I promise you, when I listened back to those songs, the comedy came right back. Okay, guys, you've been so lovely. Thank you so much.
I did my best to notice when the car came down the line up to the platform of surrender. I was proud, but I was kind. Sometimes I get nervous when I see an open door. Close your eyes, clear your heart. Cut the cord. Are we human? Or are we dancing? My side is vital. My hands are cold. And I'm on my knees looking for the answer. Are we human? Or are we dancing? Give my respects to grace and virtue. Give my condolences to good. Give my condolences to soul and romance. They always did the best they could. Some on to devotion. They taught me everything I know. Wave goodbye, wish me well. You gotta let me go. Are we human? Or are we dancing? My sign is vital. my house of cold.